recycled water that we release from tanks at the top of that hill at the same time, and also an overhead sprinkler system. It's the same effect we use for movies like Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti, Amanda Bynes, and Frankie Muniz. Moving from Old Mexico all the way across to the Old West. So howdy everybody, welcome to 6 Points, Texas. One of the oldest sets on our backlot is where we're in the heart of. And these sets have been used for classic westerns like the Virginian, Wagon Train, Destry Rides Again, Winchester 73, and this one you see on your screens above.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal line.
I hear this where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot you.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town while the getting's good?
All right. Well, I'll see you again, fella.
Or you can count on it, fella. Again.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
We just have to calm down, that's all.
Now let's mosey on out of here too, folks. But before we do so, there's a little secret of the 6 Points, Texas area. You look at the doors, some are a lot taller and some are a lot shorter. And the reason this is so is because back in the golden days of making westerns, we wanted our cowboys to appear as big as possible. And if they weren't as tall as we wanted them to be, we'd put them in the smaller door frames to appear much larger and more macho when they entered for their brawl sequences. And we did the same thing for our damsels in distress. We put them in the larger door frames to appear much more dainty and feminine. And luckily we do not do that anymore here on the lot, folks. But it is a fun little fact for all you fans of the classic Western movies. And for all those big brawl sequences, we often use water effects. So there's a little tip and a little trick we use here on the lot to make our underwater sequences for our more recent films. If you look to your left-hand side in a moment, you'll see this strange big contraption that looks like a septic tank. That's actually our underwater tank, and that's where we shoot our water sequences right on your left-hand side. It's been used for a number of different films, including the comedy Dragnet from the 80s with Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd. And this allows the camera and the crew to stay dry while the actors are on the inside of the tank filming. Take a look.
I found the snake.
We've also used that tank for a number of reality shows like The Biggest Loser. We used it for also another TV show, Seinfeld, the very funny episode Kramer takes a dip in the New York East River. That used our underwater tank. And even Seth MacFarlane used it in his recent film, Ted 2. So right next to the tank, you have another little body of water, and that is a creepy area because it was the Black Lagoon from Creature from the Black Lagoon. It is also where Norman Bates dumped the bodies for Hitchcock's classic film, Psycho, back in 1960. Now earlier in the tour I showed you the virtual world of Skull Island, but I'm about to show you an actual miniature set used by Peter Jackson in the making of his film, King Kong. Oh no, folks, the road is flooded. It looks like I don't need your help. I saw this in a movie once, so let's just try it, okay? Just go with me here. On the count of 3, I need you to say, "Part the waters." Part the waters, okay, ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Part the waters.
Okay, that was so bad, guys. That was really bad. 1, 2, 3. Part the waters. Oh, it's working. It's working. The movie magic. It's happening. The water's being sucked away. Oh, look at you. You have all these powers and you didn't even know it. Now, in a moment, we're going to be going down below sea level, so pick anything up off the floor if you're worried that it may get wet. Again, off the floor if you're worried it might get wet. Because we're going to go down below sea level to see a miniature set that Peter Jackson used for his film King Kong. And what happens is, when we use miniature sets, we need to film from a lower angle so we make it appear bigger when we put it on screen. When we add the right weather effects, this was as big as Skull Island ever got when they were working on King Kong's. Here's what it was like when Peter Jackson was working here on this set. You can see it on your screens above you. big as Skull Island ever got in the making of King Kong. It always works perfectly too, unless we have a pesky duck that wanders into view and ruins the shot. As you can see above, the duck will ruin the illusion that it's a real life-size boat. Now here on the backlot, I can take you across the world in just a minute. So we're going to be moving from King Kong's Skull Island all the way to Little Europe. So bonjour everyone, hola. If you look to your left, you'll see the streets of Little Europe. The New York Film Academy is working here, America's future filmmakers, very exciting. And this is the area where the monster movie got its start. Films like Dracula, Frankenstein, The Bride of Frankenstein, The Invisible Man. Oh look, The Invisible Man! Just kidding, he's invisible, made you look. Now, we've also worked on Disney movies there as well, like the Pirates of the Caribbean film shot in our Little Europe set. We worked on the Muppets movie with Jason Segel and Amy Adams, The Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement with Anne Hathaway. And right behind one of the most classic sets, we have one of the newest. That's the set for Hallmark Channel's Home and Family, a talk show with Mark Steinis and Christina Ferrari that shoots here on the lot. It's a really active set, which often films here during weekdays on the lot. I'm actually pretty sure there might be filming right now over there, which is pretty awesome. Now, earlier in the tour, I showed you some of the outside of our sound stages, but in a moment, I'm going to take you inside one of them to see up close and personal what it's like in the interior of an actual sound stage. This one is designed to look like the San Francisco subway station, and we used it for an episode of Bones on Fox several years back with Emily Deschanel and David Boreanaz. It's a hot set, which means it's all dressed by the set decorator, ready for filming as soon as the camera and the crew return. And it is a two-story set, so I can't take you upstairs, but you can get a good idea of how much detail goes into the making of these sets. You can even look and see there's maps of the BART system in San Francisco, which is their version of the subway system. And we'll pause you. Everyone please stay in your seats. It looks like we're having a little California earthquake. Everyone stay seated. Everyone stay seated, please. Oh no. Everyone stay calm. We'll get through this together.
Whoa! Gas truck. It's on fire.
Oh dear, alright. Okay. It looks like the floor is caving in, folks, so hold on tight.
Fire over there.
There's no place like home, there's no place like home, there's no place like home. Oh no, a subway come! Watch out!
Whoa!
Okay, that's it, folks. I think we made it through and we stayed dry for once without any. Never mind, right hand side, there's the honor.
Whoa!
Let's make our way out of here as soon as possible. Give yourself a round of applause. You survived, folks. You really are now, those are the things that Cannibal Max
That was cool.
movies here on the lot. Okay, oh my. Anyway, alright. So we did use that in an episode of Bones several years back on Fox, as I mentioned, with Emily Deschanel and David Boreanaz. So if you look above, you'll see what it's like when we brought that earthquake to the silver screen. Stress. I think it's time we take a little vacation. So I've set up a little trip for us. We're going to take a trip to the lovely New England seaside town of Amity Island. And yes, it's the same island where the shark attacked those poor citizens, but don't worry. I heard they caught the great white shark, so we'll all be safe and sound. I hope. Anyway, well, the shark is caught, so nothing to worry about, folks. So a little known fact about Jaws is that Steven Spielberg wasn't actually supposed to be the original director of Jaws. There was another unknown director that was supposed to take the part. But the problem was that this director, who was originally supposed to be the director of Jaws, actually didn't realize that the main problem with this character is that he was a shark. So he kept calling him a whale when they were talking to the writer of the book of Jaws. So they decided Steven Spielberg gets the idea that this shark is a shark and not a whale. And if you look to your right-hand side, you'll see that is the shark. Look how small and puny he looks. Such a little puny shark. My friend George is out there diving in the water, making sure we're all safe and sound. Looks like they caught the wrong shark, folks. George, get out of the water. George!
Oh, you boy.
Okay, let's take a moment of silence for George and then make our way out of here as soon as possible. That's gasoline. That's highly flammable. Congratulations. And I know you're thinking the shark is not as scary in real life as he is in the movie, but tell me this back there, car 4. I heard screaming. I heard screams, and I heard screams in car 3, so don't act all brave, okay? Yes, I know, there were screams. And if you look to your right-hand side, you'll see the only shark in the world that can do the backstroke. Funny, right? Now, the actual shark from Jaws was named Bruce after Steven Spielberg's lawyer. And Bruce was such a problem on set that he sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean on the first day of filming, prompting the crew to nickname the production Flaws instead of Jaws, because they never tested the shark out in salt water before, only fresh water. So when they brought him across the country to Martha's Vineyard to film, he decided to sink. So poor Steven Spielberg went 3 times over his original budget and went 100 days over his original shooting schedule to deal with this mechanical menace. And on a less grisly note, the homes behind the shark once belonged to Angela Lansbury's character for her classic TV show, Murder, She Wrote. That was Cabot Cove for 12 successful seasons. And for all you fans of classic movies and TV shows, you left that brownish yellowish home with the green roof. That was used for the Academy Award-winning film To Kill a Mockingbird as Boo Radley's house for all you fans of classic black and white cinema. And speaking of another typical style home here on the lot, if you look to your right-hand side, that's our neighborhood chicken ranch, most known for its use in the best little whorehouse in Texas, with Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds. A lot of these typical style suburban homes we have here on the lot. And if you look to your left-hand side in a moment, you'll get a peek in our Wisteria Lane set from ABC's Desperate Housewives. Some of the most talked about houses in the neighborhood. That looks like Dominic Toretto's Charger from Fast and Furious. I'm not sure what that's doing here, folks. I need to call this in really fast. Studio tour to studio security coming in.
This is security. What's going on, Studio Tour?
Oh, I've got a 1970 black Charger sitting outside of Wisteria Lane. Can you send someone to check on that, please?
Okay, Tour. I'll send someone down to check it out ASAP.
Okay, thanks so much, Chief. I apologize, folks. Nothing's more important than maintaining security on a studio lot. Now, besides these typical style suburban homes, we also have some more crazy, fantastical, cartoonish homes as well. One of those is a set from the Christmas classic movie, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, created by Ron Howard. So in a moment, get your cameras ready. We're going to see Whoville up close and personal.
Whoville.
This set is actually made entirely of wood and styrofoam. And we used about 9 million linear feet of styrofoam to create these sets. Enough artificial snow to cover 9 football fields. And for all of you with a sweet tooth out there, we actually used almost 2,000 candy canes to decorate our Whoville set. So that's quite a sugar rush for you folks. Quite the sugar rush. Quite minty breath as well. Now the people of Whoville had a lot more to worry about because their backyard neighbor wasn't just the Grinch. It was Norman Bates from Alfred Hitchcock's classic film Psycho. So we'll pause here for a moment so you can get some great pictures on this incredibly classic thriller set. One of the most classic sets still standing in Hollywood here on your left-hand side. Okay, everyone, that looks like that's Norman Bates himself. Everyone just stay quiet. Maybe he doesn't see us yet. This is really strange, folks. Never happened before. Oh my word. Okay. Nothing to worry about. I'm sure he's helping a woman to her car. Or not. Oh no, he sees us. Okay, let's get out of here. Oh dear. Oh gosh, watch out back there. Oh my word. Okay, it's time to check out of the Bates Motel for good. That Norman Bates, quite the lady killer, am I right? Anyway, now his mother's home is actually still standing up here on the hill above us, the home of Mrs. Bates. She's looking a little skeletal these days in the window. Heard it's because of her new diet, but she's trying the best she can. Now I'm taking you into our grand finale set for today. That is the set from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. This incredible set features 2 tons of debris. There's so much debris that Steven Spielberg even had his crew bring their own trash from home to litter onto the set. And that's a real airplane on your left-hand side, a real Boeing 747 that was purchased for this production. Cost $60,000 to buy, which isn't too bad, but shipping and handling costs for that airplane, about $200,000 to get that plane from Southern California and then ripped apart for this incredible set. Oh no, folks, it looks like we have another interruption from security. Just a moment, folks.
Studio tour. Looks like we might have an issue. I'm patching you into Agent Novak from the FBI.
FBI?
I'm sorry to interrupt your fun, but we've got video surveillance on that Charger you all saw. We ran it through the system, and the driver has been positively identified as Dominic Toretto. I've been tracking this guy for a while. He's a hardened criminal. He's likely armed, and he is definitely dangerous. My men and I are on our way to apprehend him right now. If you see him, don't be a hero. Don't engage him. Just keep a safe distance and report any further sightings to studio security immediately. We'll handle it from there.
All right, sir. Well, I'm sure the FBI will have this under control soon, but just to be on the safe side, let's keep a look out for anything suspicious. Now, here's what it was like when Steven Spielberg's talking about that incredible War of the Worlds set, and Tom Cruise was working here on the back lot.
Site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision of Steven.
When you first began to sit down to talk about War of the Worlds, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep pressing me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now I'm closed. Robbie, get in. Get in.
Now, we also use that War of the Worlds set for some Allstate commercials recommending good home insurance, fittingly. And even Rihanna and Nicki Minaj stopped by that set to work on their music video for Fly several years back. Oh no, folks, looks like we have another interruption from security or the FBI or whoever this is.
Look, this might be more serious than I thought. What just happened? This is a secure line. Who are you?
Well, I'm
tell you who I am, boy. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. And as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are.
Let me clue you in on two things, sweet cheeks. One, there's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. And two, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out. Shaw's as ruthless as they come, and he'll stop at nothing to eliminate his target. Every living soul on this vehicle is in